Good morning, class. My name is Felicity, and I am doing my speech of introduction. I want to start my speech off with a quote from Oprah Winfrey. She actually plays a big part in my life, and I feel like this quote specifically shines light on my mentality and also connects with my two objects quite sufficiently. The quote is, "I trust that everything happens for a reason, even if we are not wise enough to see it yet." Again, that quote really connects with my mentality of everything happens for a reason, and you'll see that in my two objects today. I want to start off by telling you today that you will learn about my adventurous side and you will learn about my compassionate side. My first object is going to be my Disney Minnie Mouse ears, representing my adventurous side. And the perk of being at home is that I can show you my second one, which is my cat, Marvel, and he's representing my compassionate side. I want to start off with my Disney Minnie ears. And again, they show my adventurous side. I want to start off with them, and I want to let you know that in 2014, that's when I moved to California, and that's when I had first visited Disneyland. I have a little more responsibility than most people my age. I have more weight on my shoulders. I have more things to do, more things to pay, more things to take care of than most people my age, I would say. I have been hiking, I have been on many historical sites, I have, done a bunch of other amusement parks, but nothing captured me quite like Disneyland. When I walked into Disneyland, it is this immersive culture that I had to explore. I am adventurous and I need to be adventurous because having all this weight on my shoulder is very stressful. I've tried many ways to cope with the stress, but Disneyland is by far my top one. The fact that Disney himself created this park with escapism in mind, the fact that you can't see the outside world when you are in Disneyland, the fact that everything has its own culture when you're in there, it's a very immersive atmosphere, and because of that, it made me forget my stress. It keeps me sane. It makes me who I am. It makes me not so uptight. It lets me be who I am. So having Disneyland makes me who I am. I can be who I am with that. Putting my adventure side aside, let's move on to my home life. I showed you my fluffy little cat, Marvel. He does show my compassionate side, just a reminder. So I did not adopt Marvel. I actually kind of ended up with him. I had lived with another family member when I was 17 and they were moving, so I was moving into my own place. And they did not know what to do with the cat. So they were going to let it outside and just let it be a cat for the rest of its life. But me knowing how many coyotes there are in Mira Mesa specifically, I decided to take the cat in. And a little background on me taking animals in: I have never owned a pet. I never intended to own a pet. I have moved around a lot in my life to where building connections with things was not on my to-do list. I did not want to, I did not need to, I didn't want anything to do with it because I knew that I would have to move and uproot that connection. So wherever I went, I would never dig roots. I would just stay on the surface, do what I needed to do, and move on. So with this cat, he has shown me compassion in the fact that he has health issues. I actually took him to the vet because the former person of my family, they never took him to the vet at all, but I took him to the vet and he has FIV, which it basically destroys their immune system. They don't have one, and it makes them susceptible to more diseases and they can get sick easier, and when they do get sick, it's 10 times worse. So having him have health issues on top of having him period was not my ideal situation, but it really made me actually get down and make a connection with this cat, make sure he is all right, take care of him. It made me kind of come back to reality about having connections, and that's why he shows my compassionate side. Like, I do have those connections and I am able to make those connections, and that's what I forgot. So he's my growth and compassion. And just to go over, I did go over both of my objects today, and that was my Minnie Mouse ears and my fluffy cat Marvel as well. Both representing my adventurous side and my compassionate side. And I just want to leave you guys with a little something to remember. I want you guys to know that life is very unpredictable and insane, but just stick with the mentality that everything happens for a reason. The good, the bad, the ugly, it happens for a reason. And at the beginning of my speech, I let you guys know that that was my mentality, that everything happens for a reason. I had gotten a cat that was sick, and I didn't know how to make connections, and he showed me compassion. And then I have a lot of weight on my shoulders, but I was given Disneyland, and that has shown me to keep my sanity and showed me how to be adventurous, to lift the weight. I just want to thank you guys for listening and